My name is Hannah and I'm a nutrition educator with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Jefferson County. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the most basic ingredients that we cook with, and that is the onion. Unfortunately, I'm not here to share with you a way to make yourself stop crying when chopping onions, but I am going to show you a way that you can cry less, and that is to chop faster and more efficiently. Because unfortunately, there is no other strategy to stop those tears from flowing. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we've got our beautiful onion that we are going to be chopping. Before we chop though, it's important to know how to hold your knife correctly. A lot of times when we are in the kitchen, or in life and we're dealing with a dangerous object, the instinct is to be as far away from the danger as possible. So that might lead you to hold the knife back here, not really getting a good grip on it, which can actually be more dangerous. So in order to have the greatest amount of control and stability when using your knife, you actually want to be having your fingers on the blade. So either your front finger can wrap around right here, or you can hold it right here, and then your thumb's going to be on the other side. I find it's a little bit more comfortable if you have smaller hands, maybe to actually get a pinch grip on both sides rather than gripping the handle. So you want to get a good nice grip. This will also allow you to kind of keep your wrist a little more stable. It won't kind of be at this awkward angle chopping like that. The other thing when you're using a knife is you have a beautiful long blade to use, so make the most out of it. When we're chopping, we're going to want to kind of go down with one of the front third through the thing we're cooking and then push through. And most of this motion, you'll see I have a little bit of movement in my wrist, but a lot of it should come from your shoulder. And that will prevent wrist problems later on, especially if you're doing a lot of chopping and prepping. It'll be a little easier. Make sure you get all the little papery bits off your cutting board. I'm just gonna start by removing the top of the onion here. So again, like I said, the cutting all the way through. And you can see from the juices on the knife, it ended up all the way along my blade. So this is great. Now we have our flat surface to use. I actually like to remove some of the papery bits right now if I can. I find that that's one of the hardest parts of the onion is doing the peeling of it. But I may not be able to get too much, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it again through the root. This makes it a little bit easier to go ahead and remove the outer layer or so of that papery skin. So now I'm ready to actually do the chopping bit. So I'm gonna leave this root end on, and it's gonna kind of serve as the anchor to keep all the pieces together. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is a pretty big onion. So I'm actually gonna start by doing one horizontal cut through, like so. If you're using a smaller onion, this cut isn't necessary. So just keeping a firm grip with my fingers on the top, providing that stability. And I'm not cutting all the way through. So again, we've got our root kind of holding it as the anchor. Then I'm gonna make a series of cuts kind of going around in a rainbow motion. Start low, and the closer together these cuts are, the smaller your dice or your chop is going to be. One more in there. Now when I hold it up, see I've got all these kind of pieces floating about, connected by the root. Then I can just go against my cuts and it'll get me this really nice even chop. And again, using as much of your blade, moving pieces, going slow, making sure your cutting space is clear. Maybe get one more in here, and then you can always turn it over and kind of go this way, getting the last bits of onion there. So now I've got my onion. You'll notice I'm sweeping it together with the spine or the blunt part of my knife. This is important because it will keep your blade from getting dull. So anytime you're scraping it into a pot or just moving it around your cutting board, use the spine. And it'll really save your knives in the long run. So there we go. I hope that this method helps you get less tears next time you chop an onion.